What's up, everyone? It's Charles Finch, the greatest villain expert. Right, villain number 25. He is a poacher and a hunter. Meet Percival C. McLeach. Now, this guy is from Disney, so here it is. Percival C. McLeach, simply known as McLeach, is the main antagonist in Disney's 29th full-length animated feature film, The Rescuers Down Under. He is an evil, cunning, bloodthirsty, aggressive, and ruthless poacher who is motivated out of sadistic pleasure and greed, as he sought to capture a rare eagle to sell her for a fortune. Unlike the comical Madame Medusa from the first Rescuers film, McLeach was shown as a serious villain with no redeeming qualities, and was so utterly psychotic that he was willing to feed Cody to a swarm of crocodiles once the boy had outlived his usefulness. Okay, McLeach was first introduced to Cody when the boy fell down into a pit trap after he befriended a rare and magnificent eagle known as the Marahont beforehand. The boy still had one of her feathers as a parting gift, which would prove to be a mistake as McLeach noticed the feather and decided to kidnap the boy to help him track down the eagle, though McLeach was also intending on kidnapping the boy regardless, so as not to risk being found by the authorities. Cody told him the feather was a secret and he couldn't tell McLeach who gave it to him. But McLeach insists he knows who gave him it, seeing as it to how as the exact same feather of Marahat's mate whom he killed. McLeach. So McLeach is a serious bad guy who is on a mission to find an eagle and use it as a fortune, you know. So when he sees the feather in Cody's hand, he realizes that Cody knows the eagle's whereabouts. So he insists on kidnapping the boy and use him to the eagle's location. So poachers are not very nice people, you know. So if you don't know what a poacher is, then Google it or find a dictionary and find out what it is, alright? Okay. McLeach proceeds to toss Cody's backpack to crocodiles to trick the rangers into believing that the boy had been eaten by the animals and thus covering his tracks. Meanwhile, Cody is driven to McLeach's lair, where he is soon put in a cage alongside a collection of rare and protected Australian wildlife, many of which are living in terrible conditions. However, Cody is in luck as the two mice from the Rescue Aid Society are soon sent to aid him, being none other than Bernard and Bianca, the heroes of the first film. Upon arriving in Australia, the two mice become aware of McLeach's true plan once they track him down. Knowing that Cody was emotionally attached to the eagle, McLeach cruelly lied to the boy, telling him that he heard from the radio that the Marahont had been shot by another hunter, and thus nobody was around to guard her eggs. However, this was a facade, and when Cody ran off to find the eggs, McLeach soon followed in a large truck. He also brought along his lizard psychic, Joanna, so that she could eat the eggs and thus ensure McLeach gets even more wealth via making Marahut the last of her kind. McLeach proceeds to capture Cody and Marahut, taking them to a cliff where he ties Cody up and decides to feed the boy to a swarm of crocodiles. Since he had outlived his usefulness, but Bernard manages to stop the machine McLeach was using to lower Cody into the river. McLeach responded by getting out of the vehicle and personally started firing at the rope holding Cody with a shotgun, but once again Bernard thinks fast and tricks Joanna into chasing him, causing her to knock both McLeach and herself into the river in the process. Okay, now this is his personality. McLeach is an extremely treacherous, ruthless, cruel, and greedy man. A person who is so evil, brutal, and merciless, so that he would unwillingly kill anyone, including children, if they got in the way of his sinister designs. Murderous, sadistic, and wicked, but also exceptionally manipulative and cunning, McLeach is an insanely violent and treacherous poacher who hunts down rare animals and then keeps them in torturous conditions, only for him to kill or sell them to the highest bidder, and would stop at absolutely nothing to achieve his evil goals. Whether it is through lies, bargaining, threats, or blackmail, however, McLeach does have something of a comedic edge, but this is only highlights his cruelty and is normally at the expense of others. Contradictory to his appearance and manner of speaking, McLeach isn't a stupid person and has actually shown to be quite canny and intelligent, so much that he didn't underestimate Cody. Even though he was a boy, he could tell the rangers on his poaching and decide to kidnap and then fake that he was eaten by the crocodiles. He also realized that Cody possessed an emotional connection between the boy and the eagle. He was hunting, so he pretended to free and then sadistically lied that the eagle was dead and followed him to her nest where he was able to capture her. So McLeach is utterly psychotic and certifiable that he was willing to eat the eagle's eggs so that it stayed rare and would have fed Cody to a swarm of hungry and vicious crocodiles. As shown by his own twisted version of Home on the Range, McLeach is a person who enjoys inflicting pain on animals, which is also revealed by the conditions he kept the animals he poached, and the way he constantly threatens and insults his pet lizard Joanna. However, despite how much McLeach is irritated by Joanna, he still does not kill her, although he does come close in parts of the film. He is also highly sarcastic, vituperative, uncomplimentary, and contumelious. After cornering Cody, he mockingly pretends to be scared that he might call the rangers and turn him into justice. He is also not above torturing people for information. He has also shown to possess extreme arrogance, as shown when he had fended off a swarm of crocodiles. McLeach proceeded to yet triumphantly and didn't realize that a waterfall was behind him and later fell to his death, as well as boasting about having a third-grade education, showing he is all too sure of himself when overestimating his intelligence. That's it. And this is his greatest quotes ever.
I whooped ya! I whooped you all! Y'all think twice before messing with Percival C. McLeach.